Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Shalom. Namaste. Sat Sri Akal. Ni hao. There was too much pressure. Friends have queries in their minds. FB friends, they are asking for too many things. Asking about they have questions of political nature in their minds. Some of them are asking questions of personal nature. And again, I don't have that much time to write down the whole thing, the responses. So the video response is there. Firstly, I'll handle the issue which is of a vital importance, that is of the security of students here in Pakistan. Already we have lost more than 70 students. 4 students were martyred here in Kohat during past few years in a bomb explosion. Then Army Public School and College, and then Charsata University, and numerous schools, school buildings are being damaged with bomb explosions in Pakistan, especially in tribal areas of Pakistan, in KPK, in Swat. Now the crux of the argument of that extremist leader who is sitting somewhere in Afghanistan probably, or in tribal areas of Pakistan, he says that, as I have mentioned in earlier videos, that he says that the system of Lord Macaulay prevailing here in Pakistan, he wants to end this system, and his logic is that the genocide of students will do it, because universities, colleges and schools, they provide fresh blood to the system, to the legal system, to the educational system. So he wants to end all that. Well, dear friends, about a year ago, I was passing through in a vehicle, and I have seen some slogans written on walls. Wall chalking was done there by Jamiyat-e-Tulaba Islam. Jamiyat-e-Tulaba Islam is a student wing of Jamaat Islami, and the slogans which were written there were the same which this extremist leader of TTP is saying, that we will end that Lord Macaulay's education system. That slogan was written on walls of government postgraduate college Kohat. Now that today I have rechecked again, that slogan has been removed from there, but that was written by student wing of Jamaat Islam. So whatsoever is going on between government of Pakistan on the level of Chief of the Army Staff and our US allies in Afghanistan and Afghan government regarding tackling of this menace, so far they are still at large. Uh, Nobody has been arrested further. And the only one who had surrendered uh, before US forces, that was being handed over to Pakistan government. So in brief, there is no big breakthrough in that respect. The whole nation is still tense. Everybody is at a high alert. Even today, those security men were doing exercises in a university in Multan to save students and somewhere else in Pakistan, probably in Karachi. So all these exercises are good, but I want to utilize that man force in a way that nobody can reach near to the students here. Though we have plenty of educational institutions in Pakistan, and it is really difficult to man each and every college, school, and university. Uh, and I think the better way is to dig out the real culprits, their location, and their handling. Because few people are not supposed to give tension and of a permanent nature to the 1800 million population of Pakistan. Besides, for that, the man who is talking against Lord Macaulay's educational system here, for his information, his system was of conventional nature. There used to be annual exams at the end of every year in schools and colleges and universities. Now our system has been Americanized. We are having semester system in schools and colleges and universities. Well, legal system was attacked. As I do remember that on 31st of December, our contracts were being ended, and we were told that, yeah, especially one guy among them who was offering me to meet those extremist elements within the office and was offering me big to write in their favor, and they will give me extra 50,000 for that. So when I refused his offer, so the reaction was there. The same guy, he came up with the argument that though he is far below, I mean, he was not supposed to talk to me even. But you know, when you are an extremist, then you cross the limits. So that guy, he was standing at the gate of FDMA, and he had misbehaved with me. You know that I know I'm being trained to tackle the terrorists and extremists. I did that. I laughed it off. I tackled him. But now the problem is that the more I think about it, and I recall my memory, it becomes really crystal clear to me that those guys are having internal base here, not support. They're having base here in Pakistan. They're sitting in our government offices with somewhat little support. Nobody can do a massacre of that level which was being done in Army Public School and College. So this situation is quite alarming. And I don't know. request the Jamaat-e-Islami people too that they shall, if they are thinking in these terms of ending Lord Macaulay's system by killing everybody, that is something really cruel. Islam does not permit that. And obviously the extreme stance is being supported because uh, extremist groups and their affiliated political parties are increasingly growingly uh, getting unpopular in Pakistan. They have only few seats, and there is a moderate Islamic party, Maulana Fazlur Rahman. Uh, he has some share in government there in Balochistan, in provincial government. And then here in KPK, Jamaat-e-Islami is having one minister. So I want to steer their thinking. I mean, it is virtually, I mean, it's a senseless stance. And they shall rethink their priorities if they are providing a base here to extremists. I don't think that we will be able to get rid of this prevailing tension of terrorist attacks on students. So hope sanity will prevail here in Pakistan and we will be soon tension free. The other major issue which was raised before me during past few days, that was Kashmir. And my stance, my thinking is, I'm very clear about it. So far, both in India and Pakistan, there is, I'm sorry to say that civil and economic rights are not so prevalent here in population at mass scale. So, being cruel to Kashmiris, I mean, there is a movement there, and most of them are not, I mean, you can't say that even if we provide independence, if UN sponsored resolution regarding self-determination has been implemented and they had opted for independent states, because there are growing voices within Kashmir. Even my own class fellow, of Kashmiri origin, they used to tell me frankly that we are not going to opt for integration with Pakistan. And I used to convince them that the problem is that we all need freedom. Both in India, Pakistan, we still need freedom. We don't have any rights here in practical sense. The rights are there in the Constitution, but when it comes to practice all this, because of the centuries long kingships here in subcontinent and then dictatorships, people, their concepts about the fundamental rights, civil and economic rights, are not very clear here. And partition formula of subcontinent that states that Muslim majority areas will be included in Pakistan and Hindu majority areas will be included in India. So this province where right now I'm sitting here in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, at that time that was NWFP, Northwest Frontier Pakistan, Northwest Frontier Province. The name was given to it by British colonial rulers. So here the referendum was held. Soon after the partition, or during the process of partition, the referendum was held here to know the will of the people whether they want to join India, or though the WFP has no common border with India, and majority of the people living here were Muslims and are still Muslims, but the referendum was held. So there is no harm in doing the same in Kashmir. And interestingly, the Kashmir issue was taken to UN by Indian Premier, Honorable Jawaharlal Nehru. And in response to his writ, the UN came up with the resolution regarding right of self-determination for the people of Kashmir. So to make it a bone of contention and fighting three major wars between India and Pakistan, that's why I say that the day that partition took place, the whole continent, that subcontinent, is bleeding. And it does not make sense to me the way the things are going on here. Mostly I'm not convinced. The stance which they take, that is product of emotions. I mean, nobody look towards reality. India, that is divided on communal grounds. Still, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, and Christian Hindu tensions are there, rivalries are there. Then there are divisions within the Hindu religion. Majority of the Hindus are Dalits, untouchables, and they're being mistreated and discriminated within the Indian Union by their own Hindu brothers. And the traditions are so cruel prevailing here, especially in India. An eyewitness came to me here who had spent some time as a Pakistan government officer there in Embassy of Pakistan. He told me that people, they protest about sati, that woman in India, in olden times that practice was there. I don't know whether it is still there or not. That with the demise of husband, the woman will also be burnt alive, his wife. So he came up with that tradition is called sati, and I don't know whether it is prevailing there or not. But, that elder has told me that it's a height of ignorance in a specific village of India. If a baby girl takes birth at a specific day, then she is being declared, uh, then she is being damned and declared witch, and they make her marry with a dog in village. So generally, if you sit with the people and talk to them, obviously no, not everybody is having specialized knowledge in politics as I was privileged to have. In my company, we used to have computer sciences students and other students of other disciplines. So I never expect that much in, integrated or logical argument from them. But obviously, in both in India and Pakistan, we have universities, we have social sciences faculties, and research is also going on there. But we don't see the reflection of that research in our legislative assemblies, in actions of our elected rulers. In simple words, educated lot is not there in politics. Luckily, that Dr. Manmohan Singh was here to rule India for 2 terms probably. But even he was unable to do much, because when the majority of the people are least bothered about politics, rather politics has been considered here as a taboo, and has been given different meanings, very ugly meanings to the word politics here. The one who is thug, the one who is deceptive, the one who is cheat, and when he acts in a way to cheat or thug others or trap others, that has been called politics here in Pakistan. So situation is quite horrible here. And then there is one more technical point. I mean, my generation is privileged enough that we went through American semester system, and our concepts regarding everything was in politics or life or whatsoever were made clear by our able professors. But generally, the system both in India and Pakistan produces parrots. All examinations are a test of memory only. So the students, they just memorize the whole things. Even today in colleges, here in Kohat, both in girls and boys colleges, we don't have sufficient laboratories where students can do experiments of scientific nature, to make their concept clear. So the situation is really, and again, I mean, even social sciences were not that much prevalent here in Pakistan in the days of Field Marshal Ayub Khan. But Pakistan scenario was not so bad. Obviously, that political system was a big fun because each minister was having power to imprison the fellow minister or the person lower than him, and it was a big mess. But at least the views which we have seen here in Karachi during the past few days, that a young man is taking a truck loaded with garbage towards Chief Minister's house because he wants to start a movement to clean Karachi wall. And using the word fix it. I use this word on Facebook, and because of the complaint from India that a son of a lady, he was innocent enough, and very few people know that internet fraud people are also there on internet. So his son was trapped and he had crossed the border without visa or without proper documents. And then probably he's missing somewhere in Afghanistan or in Pakistan, and the mom is crying like anything and contacting everybody. And she has contacted me too. So her son, he behaved in a very, one shall be intelligent enough. We are not supposed to run after marriages. Yeah. If I do talk on internet, most of them are my UN colleagues, farmer, and my department colleagues, and family members. A cousin is there, and another close friends which are known to me. But now my friends are hundreds in number, and I don't know about them. So when this lady complained about the whole thing, then I said, okay, firstly we have to fix the Facebook on my status page. I had written this, and I came up with the suggestions that yeah, to mark that we shall add some extra steps in building account on Facebook for the newcomers, because most of them who are asking for friendship with me, their profile page is showing nothing about them, just a picture. And my own profile on FB, anybody can see everything, even members of my family, and pictures are there, and everybody, everything about me has been written there in my at my profile page. Everybody can see that. So I came up with the suggestion that yeah, some extra steps shall be included so that nobody can trap anybody. Say for example, the lady from India is complaining that her son has been trapped. So if she comes up with little evidence, the mark and company and other security agencies, they can identify within no time if the profile of a person is complete. So I had used that word, that we shall fix the Facebook first. And then that fix it movement was started in Karachi, and in such a way that I never did anything. Once in my lifetime, I was a college student, and they had younger ones. We were called to I too was very young at that time. So we were protesting the death sentence of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And we were trying to make the general realize, General Zia, and to take that sentence back. So they asked for my argument, and then there was a speech of mine of 10-15 minutes in which I have tried to prove that evidence of benefit of doubt always go to the accused person, and if there is no sufficient evidence, and somebody has killed somebody and Prime Minister is going to be hanged for that. Yeah, that was a straight murder of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So we have protested, and I did it in a very polite way. And then seniors, they came, they had taken over the whole thing, and then there was a rush of people here in postgraduate college Kohat. For 22 hours, Kohat Pindi Road was blocked. GTS, the Government Transport Service bus provided by Porto for that students, that was set ablaze. And for 22 hours there was a pitched battle between police and students. 22 students were finally arrested. Nobody has said anything to me because everybody knew that I just came up with a logical argument. Then there were others, emotional people who were not having that much in-depth knowledge regarding me. I used to read too much since my childhood. I used to play games too, cricket, football, hockey, basketball even. But I was too studious. I used to do many things, and the library facility was there, so. And those emotional people, they did something really bad. So they were arrested. Nobody said anything to me because the reports, intelligence guys, they are always there. They see who is doing what. So that day I had realized that people here, they try to exploit others. They did this with Bhutto. They plunged him into politics in a way that he had lost his senses. I have seen pictures that he is insulting General Zia, chief of the army staff, by putting that his cigar on his pocket. To extinguish his cigar, he was. If you are a prime minister, you are not supposed to do this with anyone. The personal vendetta starts when such things happen. His murder was a murder, but he provoked the general to do this. One shall. I always, my colleagues, when they say that, yeah, you damn care about security and everything, and you go everywhere. And I tell them that, yeah, your security is linked with your personal attitude. If you're not corrupt, if you're not doing anything wrong against anybody, if you're not fond of humiliating others for nothing, if you're not fond of looking down upon people for nothing, if you don't have any sort of superiority complex, if you're not troubling others for nothing, for no reason, then you don't have any security problem. You can go anywhere, you can talk to anybody. Mostly people, they become, they fall in trouble because of their attitude. So, coming back towards that fix-it problem, that someone has started in Karachi. It's really, I do things without bothering anybody. Even when I was having authority in my hands, those who were in need of jobs, I went after them to the right people, those who were able and who were jobless. And to make people beg for jobs and humiliate others and prove that you are too superior and others are nothing. That type of attitude leads you towards a bad end, my friend. And I hope younger one will also learn from all this. So that fix-it guy, he shall learn. No, don't. If you really want to clean Karachi, okay, make a plan, contact NGOs, contact other influentials and other charity organizations. They will help you hiring the people who can clean the city, okay? Don't mess up with your elders. He has services. Chief Minister is not an ordinary man of Sindh. All his life he was in politics and he had faced too many difficulties. Whatsoever his potential is, he had served the people of Sindh and he is your elder. You're not supposed to take that loaded truck of never. This is not the way. Let me teach you how we do the things. You know, this country was in problem. Okay? It was Musharraf's rule. General Musharraf was dictator here. And others, they might be having any opinion about him. But I think that he is a better man than many who claim that they are big Democrats, behaving like autocrats and dictators. So, as usual, you know that I enjoy having long walks. That makes me feel better, you know, once you're having too much load on your mind. And besides, I'm in habit of doing jogging and all other physical exertions, exercises to keep myself fit, mentally and physically and psychologically. So, I went on a long walk. And well, there is an uncle who is retired army personnel of Pakistan Medical Corps, of Army Medical Corps. So he is also a journalist and he seeks a lot of flyer in my company because we sit and talk together and he wants to have more and more information and he gives me more and more information which finally results in betterment of this country. So he told me that we are frustrated. We army people are frustrated. The budget is so low, so small. And what can you do? And I told him that make that general understand that, say for example, you are having $1 million with you. Calculate the 1%. And if you are having $10 trillion with you, calculate it's 1%. You will come to know that the same 1% is sufficient because your revenue has been increased, your income has been increased as a nation. So I have resolved your problem. You let the general know about it. And the general was so sharp here. Suddenly the economic boom was started. Exports were increased. He's superb. I mean, whatsoever his problem with another elder is, probably I think that there is a chemistry problem. You know, sometimes you feel really bad in presence of someone. So it means that your body chemistry is not a match with his body chemistry. Sometimes you feel headache when he arrives. Sometimes you feel allergic with him. Sometimes you feel like fighting with him. So it means that there is a body chemistry problem between both of you. So probably because neither the general nor the Nawaz Sharif is such a bad person. He pick up quarrels and one ends up in lockup and the other ends up hovering around in a plane on sea, having no place to land. Yeah, this is 3 months. I mean, how can such a responsible figures and elders I respect them a lot, but you know, they know that my humor sense, they enjoy it. So, we must learn all this. Body chemistry is not a very new concept. I knew it since long. And I do not interact with the people who just suddenly get allergic with me or try to pick up a quarrel with me. And though the government or my family people, they mostly, the think that why I left that job or why I kicked that one, or because obviously this problem is there, that is prevailing among humans. So we shall have some mechanism that when at our intelligence agencies level, that when we feel that certain people, when we put together, are at loggerheads with each other, then we shall keep on changing their circles till the time they find the company of their matching biochemistry, sorry, the matching body chemistry. So this is what is going around, and well, those scholarly discussions and my responses, I mean, how many can understand all this? But I advise that whatsoever, one thing everybody shall keep in mind: misuse of power leads you in trouble. And if the misuse of power at large scale is being practiced, that leads the whole nation into trouble. Those and our concept shall be clear, because if you are a government servant, we know that rules and regulations are there. We have to stay within the limits of that. And rules and regulations, service rules are different in government institutions and in private institutions. In government institution, the rules are quite good, but and especially for officers, I mean, it is not easy to remove anybody from his job by blaming him for nothing, or by claiming that you are too difficult for us and we cannot understand you, and judge, we want your honesty and higher qualification, please, bye. So that type of attitude can land anybody into trouble. And if that attitude prevails at national level, then what is being called, what becomes evident, Taliban revolution. Because honestly, when those who are having no knowledge or education in our big offices in a government, so Taliban revolution is there. Because they don't believe in any sort of education, they just believe in religious education, that is enough. So the prevailing practices are indicative that Pakistan is heading towards Taliban revolution. We can reverse that. We can put the educated back into their positions, and we can prove it to the world. We can prove it to the people that we are really sincere and able people, and we are working in the benefit of public of Pakistan. So we can justify our position and the salaries which we are getting. And otherwise, I mean, no other practice, Taliban-like practices, just throw them out from their offices. Technically, even if they are sitting there and by force, if they are getting salaries and all that, but they have lost their legitimacy. So in the developing countries are called developing or third world countries for this, because such situations are here. Now we have to tackle that. We have to tackle the terrorists. We have to handle the terrorist, we have to contain the terrorist, and we shall remove the bases which the terrorists are here are having here within government offices. And who will do that? Parliament has to take these things seriously. And one thing which I want to tell everybody, especially the educated ones and those who are educated and are there within the assemblies, that no sit-ins. I mean, you're protesting against a person who does not know the meanings of the protest. In a democracy, because his concept is not very clear about it. The same person that Alama is quite a respectable elderly figure. He came in PPP era to protest here in Islamabad. When they have asked me in my office, I told them it is his democratic right. Let him speak as much as he can, and if people are convinced, then we will see that if the majority is convinced and is with them, then we might opt for a referendum to change the system in a way he wants. So 3, 4, 5 days he was there, and finally everybody was, he by himself was convinced that we shall end all this. And peacefully he was gone. So I don't know how Mir Sahib, that Prime Minister Sahib guys, they tackled him by killing his 14 students. Now you can't once you touch students here in Pakistan, that is, I mean, you know, the APSC students, Charsada University students, and those students who killed they were of a religious institution, but the Alama is having that other scientific education too is in his institutions. So that is really very dangerous, because when you kill the people of your own country, they do have relatives within army, within police force, within intelligence services. Then your security has been jeopardized. So this whole problem is very complex in nature, and the same Miyasa was there, but he never behaved in a way, or the guys who are under him, the way they are behaving, right? Recently, they did something very funny. I mean, I can't stop laughing when I think about it. I was getting the whole data through media and through other sources regarding PIA strike. we're striking PIA people, officers and men. Upon them, somebody has opened fire. Probably 2 among them were killed, and many of them were injured. Yeah, on protesters, we are not supposed to. This protest is a right of everybody, but the situation is very funny in PIA. The deficit of PIA is so big, Pakistan International Airlines, that even a very innocent person, because I do have trillionaires here in my area, they are having very little education, but they know how to do business. And even they, if they're being offered with this much big deficit, they will not buy that Pakistan International Airlines. Prime Minister has said that I want to sell that to private sector. Now, the sale of that stuff, that organization is not possible with this much huge deficit. Nobody will buy it. And the employees, they were unable to grasp the whole thing. That never, nobody will buy this. If Prime Minister says, I'm going to sell it, let him say. If nobody is willing to buy uh, with this much of huge deficit, how their jobs will be lost? Because no sane person will ever get near to such an organization which is having such a huge deficit. Why these deficits are there? Because all the educated are thrown out. Talibanization, man. You are doing it unconsciously, or because of the fear of these Taliban. No, don't be afraid of them. They are, they can be handled. Pakistan armed forces can handle anything. They have a track record of it all around the world. They had a proven track record. Just talk nicely to the chief and everything will be fine. So that misuse of power, that shall not be there. And we must come forward or bring forward people who are really having the potential. Bribing media people and all that for projection and then coming in power to protect the interest of mafia. Obviously, mafia, drug mafia and all that, they are linked with these terrorist organizations and they're cooperating with each other. So, situation is really, really out of control here in Pakistan. And if the practices which are prevailing here are not being reversed and the education has been discouraged and the students have been terrorized and killed on one pretext or other, you know that who will deduce what from all this. And there is one more point which is very dangerous in nature, because the video which I have seen about the terrorist and my American computer counterparts to whom I do converse, I had exchanged that with the link of that video with them with a request to coordinate with Pakistan to contain this man from carrying out genocide of students here. The man who is making speech in that video of a terrorist leader, he is standing in the center and at both his sides 4 men are standing wearing the uniform of Afghan National Army. Probably that uniform is fake. But I hope that there is no connection between Afghan government and Pakistan government and General John and Chief of the Army Staff of Pakistan, General Rail. They don't know about all this underhand deal, because these days everybody is coming and going to Pakistan. Even Prime Minister of India, he without any protocol, without involvement of any government officials, just move into Pakistan in Lahore along with hundreds of his men, enjoy a gossip with the Prime Minister. It's good. I mean, if you agree to remove all these borders and everything, and if the people are with you and they are willing to do all this, who can have objection on it? But until and unless we are having security concerns and Indian involvement, Army has provided many evidences regarding Indian involvement in financing of terrorism here in Pakistan. So we have to be very careful at this stage. You know, the ideal situation is that there shall be lasting peace here. Sanity shall prevail. So I hope that finally sanity will prevail, and the people who had raised these issues before me are now probably are having some sort of convincing responses from me. I wish all of you all the best, and I hope to see the whole world plunged into peace and prosperity soon.